What if I told you the Philippines just found a new gas field and immediately sent the military to protect it? Out in the dark waters west of Palawan, something big is happening. This isn't just about oil rigs or technical surveys. It's about power, literally. It's about energy, national security, and how the Philippines plans to protect its future. For decades, the Malampaya gas field has been a quiet hero. Since the early 2000s, it's helped keep the lights on across Luzon, powered factories, supported economic growth, and reduced the country's need to import energy. But Malampaya is aging. Year after year, its output has dropped. And that raised a serious question. What happens when it runs dry? Without new local gas discoveries, the Philippines would be forced to rely more on imported liquefied natural gas. Energy that's expensive, unpredictable, and vulnerable to global price shocks. Everyone knew a solution was needed. What no one expected was how soon it would arrive. In January 2026, everything changed. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. announced the discovery of a new offshore natural gas reservoir, Malampaya East 1, just a few kilometers away from the original field. This discovery is a big deal. It's the Philippines' first major natural gas find in more than 10 years. Early drilling suggests around 98 billion cubic feet of gas, plus valuable condensate. Even better, test flows showed strong output, enough to spark real optimism. At a critical moment, the country may have just found a new energy backbone. The impact was immediate. Energy officials called it a win for national security. Economists saw relief for rising power costs. Industry leaders saw something just as important: stability, a more predictable energy supply for years to come. But there was no illusion that this was just an energy story. In today's world, energy and security go hand in hand. Within days of the announcement, the military stepped in. Patrols around Malampaya East 1 were ramped up. Navy ships, Coast Guard vessels, and surveillance aircraft increased their presence in the area. Officials were careful with their words. This wasn't about escalation, it was about protection. As one senior military officer put it, Malampaya isn't just infrastructure, it's a lifeline. That message echoed across government. This new gas field isn't being treated like a typical project. It's a strategic national asset, one tied directly to economic stability, industrial growth, and everyday life. To protect it, the armed forces work closely with the Navy and Coast Guard. Patrol ships circle the area. Aircraft watch from above. Advanced monitoring systems track every movement in nearby waters. This stronger security posture isn't just about one site. It's part of a wider push to protect offshore infrastructure, pipelines on the seabed, production platforms, and the vessels that keep everything running. Still, officials are clear-eyed about one thing. Malampaya East 1 is only at the beginning. Finding gas is step one. Turning it into usable energy takes time. More drilling, engineering work, environmental reviews, permits, and serious investment. Even in the best-case scenario, experts say commercial production is still years away. But here's the key point. The discovery matters even before a single molecule flows. It extends the life of the Malampaya system. It strengthens the Philippines' negotiating position with LNG suppliers. And it sends a powerful signal. The country still has untapped energy potential. There may be more on the way. The Department of Energy says nearby prospects like Camago 3 and Bagong Pagasa 1 are now under evaluation, with possible results later in 2026. If those pay off, the entire Malampaya area could be reborn as a major gas hub. For the government, this changes the long game. Natural gas is seen as a bridge fuel. It's cleaner than coal, emits less carbon than oil, and provides steady power while renewables scale up. For a growing economy trying to cut emissions without risking blackouts, local gas checks every box. But energy strategy never exists in isolation. Malampaya sits inside the Philippines' exclusive economic zone. Yet it lies in the wider South China Sea, known locally as the West Philippine Sea, an area shaped by overlapping claims and rising tension. China continues to assert sweeping claims through its so-called 9-line, despite a 2016 international ruling that rejected that position under international law. That ruling was clear. China's historical claims have no legal basis in areas that fall within the Philippines' exclusive economic zone. But on the water, reality looks different. Chinese naval and Coast Guard vessels continue to operate across the region. In recent weeks, international media have reported increased patrol activity near several disputed features. Beijing hasn't publicly linked any of this to Malampaya East 1, but the timing hasn't gone unnoticed, and context matters. From Manila's point of view, protecting offshore energy infrastructure is inseparable from defending lawful maritime rights. That's why officials describe the expanded patrols not as escalation, but as a normal expression of sovereignty. At the same time, another factor shapes the picture: allies. The United States Navy continues regular operations across the South China Sea, including freedom of navigation patrols and joint activities with regional partners. Philippine and U.S. forces have also deepened cooperation. More joint exercises, rotational troop presence, and upgrades at selected Philippine bases. Both sides say the goal is practical: better coordination, disaster response, and maritime security. Philippine defense officials add that allied coordination improves situational awareness and operational confidence, especially when it comes to protecting sea lanes and critical infrastructure. But they're careful to draw a line. The Philippines, they insist, remains fully responsible for defending its own resources. That balance is deliberate. Manila wants strong partnerships, but not at the cost of sovereignty. Under President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., foreign policy has been framed around three pillars: defending national interests, pursuing peaceful engagement, and upholding international law. Those principles are front and center in how the government talks about Malampaya East 1. Officials present it as a national achievement. They stress one point above all else: this discovery lies firmly within the Philippines' exclusive economic zone. Officials are clear on two things. First, the Philippines has the right to develop its own resources. Second, maritime disputes will be managed through dialogue and diplomacy, firm on rights, open to talks. That balance has become the hallmark of Manila's current approach. At home, the reaction has been mostly positive. Energy consumers see the possibility of more stable electricity prices. Business groups point to a stronger investment climate. Local governments in Palawan and nearby areas are already talking about jobs, new infrastructure, and economic spillovers. And beyond the economics, there's pride. This is a homegrown discovery found within sovereign waters. Still, optimism comes with caution. Environmental groups are urging strict safeguards to protect marine ecosystems during drilling and future production. Offshore gas, they warn, carries real risks: spills, habitat disruption, and long-term ecological damage. The government says those concerns will shape every step. Environmental impact assessments, monitoring, and regulatory compliance are non-negotiable. Energy officials also temper expectations. 98 billion cubic feet of gas is meaningful, but it's not Malampaya at its peak. This discovery can help bridge supply gaps, not replace the entire system. That's why the country isn't betting on one solution. LNG import terminals, renewable energy projects, and grid upgrades are all moving forward alongside domestic gas development. It's a portfolio approach, and the world is watching. International investors know offshore gas is expensive and complex. Before committing billions, they'll weigh reservoir quality, development costs, regulatory stability, and the security environment. The Philippine government has signaled it understands the stakes, offering policy clarity, stable fiscal terms, and strategic oversight. Because beneath all the technical details is a bigger reality. Energy security is no longer just an economic issue, it's a geopolitical one. And Malampaya East 1 sits right at that intersection.